Hello, welcome back. In this section, we're going to learn about collections. Collections are nothing but a list of objects. In that regard, it's similar to arrays because arrays also let you hold a group of numbers or objects. But the collections let you manage those list of objects much better than arrays. It lets you add items easily and remove items easily. So collections are definitely widely used. I have the Oracle site opened on the interface collection. So this is where kind of everything begins. That is an interface defined call collection that comes with Java, which has a bunch of sub interfaces. The thing that we're going to look at in this video is list. So if I click list, list is another interface which has some implementing classes, and one of them, if you see, is ArrayList. ArrayList is one of the most widely used collections because it really helps you easily manage objects. So in this video, we're going to focus on ArrayList. We're going to learn how to create an ArrayList, how to add objects to it, and manage that list. So if I switch back to Eclipse, we're going to create a new project and name it section 7. Hit finish, and then we'll go to source and create our new class. We will put it in the package com.javatut.section7. I have another package by that name, but I think it's okay. List test. So let's call the class list test and put it in a package com.java.section7, and we'll create our main method. Hit finish. Now, as we know, we can have the variable declared with the interface. So type list, which is the interface, and then hit control space. Sorry about that, control space. And we want the one in java.util, not the one in java.awt. So hit enter, and you see we have something here. With a less than greater than symbol, you have something called e. This is where the type would go in. If you want to hold a list of string, you will put string here. If you want to hold a list of, let's say, employee objects, you will have an employee type defined, and that employee would go here. Now we want to hold a list of string, so we'll type string here and names. And just like how you would define any object, you will type new, but we want to define ArrayList. Now you obviously know you cannot give list here because list is an interface and you cannot instantiate that. But ArrayList is a concrete class implementing that list, so you can. Now Eclipse is showing an error because it doesn't know what ArrayList is because we need to import it. Just like how Java util list was automatically imported when you hit control space here. We will hit control space again and select java.util. And Eclipse populated string automatically because it knows you're trying to create a string of list. You just need to put the parentheses and then semicolon. There you go. So we have a names array list defined to hold a list of string. Now you can do names dot. You have a bunch of methods available in the array list, but we're going to use the add one. So hit add, and we can say John. Now let's go ahead and use another method that is available in the array list. Names dot size. As you can tell from the name, it's going to tell you what is the size of the list, how many items are held in the list. So let's go ahead and save it. We will right click, run as Java application. So we got one. So we already have used two methods that are available in the array list. So let's go ahead and add one more or a couple of names. Say Kate, and then names dot add Peter. So we will save and run just to make sure the size changes. Yep, So we got three. We got three names and then we got the size as three. So those are just two methods. There are other very useful methods available. One of the most useful methods is, let's say if we want to remove Kate from the list. We don't want to have Kate in the list. We just need to have two names. You have a remove method that takes an index. So just like arrays, index always starts with a 0. So John is index 0, Kate is index 1, and Peter is index 2. So if you want to remove Kate from the list, you will say remove 1. Hit save, try to run it. There you go. You have two now because we added John, Kate, and Peter, but we removed Kate. Now the list is back to 2. This is a striking difference between a list and arrays. If you had an array of string that had these names, you have to manually remove Kate, which is the second item in the array, but then you will have to move Peter ahead so that there is no gap in the list. So with arrays, you have to go through a bunch of steps to do what you are able to do with just one method. So this is one of the most powerful things about lists. It lets you manage the list much easier than what you have to go through with an array. And there are other useful methods. I really would like to encourage you to explore all these methods. The other one I would like to show is add. This one took a string and we give the names, but this one takes an index. So it is just like how we removed something from the list, it's pretty easy to put it back in the list as well. So if I say add 1 and then add, let's say, Kate back, hit run. Now we got 3 again. So we made it 2, but then we had made the list again 3. Now if we were to print system.out.println names, that another useful method is get. You can also get something on a particular index. So I can say get 1. So I'm asking for the first item in the list, which is not the first item, the index with 1, the index 1 to be displayed. Run. So we got Kate again. So we removed Kate, we added her back to the list, and then we were able to get it. So just like the remove, to add something in the middle of an array, you would have to go through a bunch of steps. But now with just one method call, we're able to add an item back into the string list. So that's the power of our list or any collection for that matter. Like I said earlier, I would really like to encourage you to explore all these methods because several of them will come very useful when you're coding much more complex programs. But whatever methods I've shown are very frequently used. So make sure you are very comfortable with the methods shown here because these are used very frequently in most of the programs. But that's basically ArrayList. There is another way to go through all the items in the list instead of doing a get for each index. But that is going to be in the next video. It's called an iterator, but the next video will be dedicated to iterator to understand how you can easily traverse the list to get each item. That's basically it. See you in the next video. Thank you.